What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. No LEGO leaks, no news, no reviews today. So we're going to be taking 31 LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series sets and putting them in a tier list. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers do this for a variety of things in varying ranks of seriousness. Obviously, we're going to take LEGO sets and decide which ones are better than the others. So a few things I do want to mention about the sets that I have included before we get too far into it. The sets are going to be being judged based on, are they a good set? Was it a good price? Piece to price ratio? Were the minifigures good? And on top of that, I do have remakes of sets included in this. So I've got both the original Snowspeeder and the remake of the Snowspeeder. One other thing that I've added to the list is the Master Builder Series Cloud City that we got coming out in 2018 last year. I think that'd add kind of a good bit of diversity to the list and possibly some good conversation here. So went ahead and added that. So with that being said, let's take a look at what we've got going here. So we've got 31 of the UCS sets, basically all in lines down here, and these can be drag and drop for in whatever order you want them to be. So the way tier lists work is up here on S tier, that is going to be the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And then down here on F tier, that is the bottom of the barrel, you know, just absolute trash sets, right? So the first one I do want to talk about is the UCS Millennium Falcon. The first one, that is. So the first one, I've got Brick Set pulled up over here, so if you see me looking over at this other monitor, I'm reading information. So this set came out with 5,197 pieces, 5 minifigures, for $499 US. Came out back in 2007. You know, LEGO Star Wars was a lot different than than it was now. So minifigures were different, but I'm going to put this at B tier, and I'm going to explain myself, because we obviously have a new Millennium Falcon that came out that is far better. This set was incredibly sought after until they did that re-release. The minifigures are alright. There's no interior into this set, and other than it being a shelf piece and looking cool on the outside, there's not a lot going for it. In my opinion, I think this set would be really boring to build, but that's just me. You guys know me, I like the location builds, and you'll see kind of a trend with that throughout the tier list here. I haven't made any decisions on these sets prior to recording this, so you guys are kind of seeing my thought process and where I'm kind of ranking these, but I think it's safe to say that the UCS Millennium Falcon from 2007 is a solid B tier set. And when I say B, it's not a bad set, it's definitely on the upper echelon of sets. So let's talk about the re-release that came out in 2018. This set was 7,541 pieces and clocks in at $800. Okay, this is the most expensive LEGO set ever made, the largest LEGO set that has ever been made, and the piece to price ratio is still not that good. You get a ton of minifigures with this, a ton of pieces. Right here it's saying 10.6 cents per piece. That's a little higher than kind of what we're used to on a lot of sets. This set's beautiful though. It does have a little bit of an interior, and for that reason I'm putting it above the original UCS Millennium Falcon at an A tier set, mainly because this set, it's huge. This set's bigger than, almost as big as some people I know. It's absolutely massive. So I really think it's solid saying it's an A tier set. So let's talk about the weird little like LEGO Star Wars busts they made back in the early days of LEGO Star Wars. So we've got Darth Maul and we've got Yoda. So let's look at Yoda. Yoda was 1,075 pieces right here. This is set number 7194. Not everyone knows that this set exists, and it's kind of strange that it's under the Ultimate Collector Series line. And if you ask me, it doesn't look that good. It's a little creepy looking. The eyes are kind of dead looking, but I do think it has some redeeming qualities. I'm going to probably put this in a D or an E tier, probably, because it looks big on the box. It's only 1,000 pieces, so it's really not that. It's about this big. It's not huge. I'm going to go ahead and put it in an E tier. This may get moved later in the video, but let's keep it going. Let's talk about the Darth Maul bust. I think this one is a lot cooler. It's definitely life-size if you've ever seen it in person. Full size of like a real person's head. They haven't done something like this before. This set was 1,868 pieces with $150 US price tag, and that was back way back in 2001. So I'm probably going to put this as a C tier or a D tier set, somewhere in between. I'm going to put it down at D tier because of the lack of minifigures and the possible playability of the set. These two may move a little bit later in the video, but we'll see. This one's easy. We're gonna put the Battle of Hoth down here at F tier. Let me clarify some of my thoughts on this. I don't think it's a bad set. It just shouldn't be under the Ultimate Collector Series line. That's the Assault on Hoth, my bad. It was 2,144 pieces with $250, and everything in this set had already been released before. Except for maybe like the generator off to the side, but it seemed like they kind of took watered down versions of a lot of other Hoth sets that came out around 2010, 2011 when I was buying a lot of them, and kind of threw them all together in just one big play set, and all of them are just like small little like cruddy builds that when you put them all together they make a set over 2,000 pieces that they're charging $250 for. That's ridiculous. This set should have been $200 max. Absolutely an F tier set. I think everyone can agree on this. In the UCS line at least. $200, not on the UCS line, might have been a little different. So, it's the Jedi. Let's look at the Ultimate Collector Series Jedi Starfighter. Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter set 10215, 676 pieces, $100 US. I'm gonna put this one at an E tier set. It's what a lot of people want as any UCS set, a nice shelf piece. You got a really nice like astromech droid piece on top of that, and a really nice like plaque. But other than that, I didn't think it had very many redeeming qualities. 676 pieces, whoops, and $100 US. That's a little ridiculous. I don't think this set sold very well, and it looked like it was maybe on store shelves for about a year, from what I'm reading over here on Brickset. Definitely an E tier set. Rebel Blockade Runner. So this set clocked in at 1,747 pieces, $200 US. That puts it at 11.4 cents per piece. So set 10019. This came out back in 2001 with the Yoda and the Darth Maul busts. This set's absolutely massive. It's huge. The whole thing at the front is such a cool build. I'm gonna put it at a. I'm gonna put it at. God, I'm really stuck between B or C tier. I want to say C because no minifigures, but B because it's such a good build. You know what? If we're going to put it at B tier, just because I think the detail on this is incredible, especially for a 2001 set, and I think that's something important to consider. All right, let's look at the original Ultimate Collector Series Snowspeeder. I don't think this set has a ton of redeeming qualities. This is set 10129, Rebel Snowspeeder. It's got a lot of weird slope pieces in it, creating a lot of weird angles. And they ultimately fixed that in the Snowspeeder coming out back in 2017. For that reason, I'm going to put it down here at an E tier. I'm going to put it on an F tier. I think this set's pretty garbage. That might be a hot take, but I'm looking over here on the Brickset pictures, and it looks dated, especially with all the slope pieces on the front. Your piece to price ratio was good, 1,457 pieces for $130 US. But no minifigures in this. I think Assault on Hoth is like completely below F tier. But I think this is definitely down there with it. So let's look at the original Death Star. 24 minifigures. I remember the first time I saw this set in the Lego catalog. I thought it was awesome. I think this is a solid C tier set. Great play set. And with that, I think the re-release that they did not too long ago is sitting right in there on the C tier as well. So what do we got next? I don't think those need a ton of explanation. I think they're solid, but I think some people may want a little bit more out of an Ultimate Collector Series set. It's just like a big dollhouse to me. Just kidding. We're gonna move that one up to the B tier just because the minifigures were updated. Just kidding. We're moving it back down to C. All right. So we talked about the original UCS Snowspeeder. We're gonna bring it back here with the new re-release of the UCS Snowspeeder. I think this set improved upon the original so much. I remember this was one of the I want to say that was the first video Bricklite ever did on news. So it kind of has a special place in my heart. The angles on the front just look so much better. This is definitely a C tier set. I think it looks great. It's right on par with the Death Star. It's not my favorite UCS set, but I think now that I'm just looking at the angles on the front, comparing it to the original, it looks so, so great. Alright, what's next? We've got... Let's look at some of these oldies. We got the TIE Interceptor, I believe. TIE Interceptor, yeah. This set was 703 pieces for $100 US. I don't think this set's that great. It did come out back in 2000. I don't think it's that great, though. We're probably going to put it down here on a D or an E tier because I do think it represents the actual vehicle from the movie pretty well. But we're going to put it down here on E tier. D tier, E tier. Let's look at the X-Wing next. This is set 7191, 1,300 pieces, $150 US. That's a ripoff. No minifigures, no nothing, especially in 2000. We're going to put that down on E tier as well. All right. So, General Grievous. This one's interesting. Let's take a look at it. So this was 1,085 pieces for $90 US. Great piece to price ratio already. General Grievous is a badass character. The little plaque on the bottom, I'm looking at the set right there. I don't remember if it was a sticker or a print, but it's so cool. It's got his like glowing yellow eyes down there. For that reason, I'm going to put this probably in a C tier or a B tier set. His face on the actual build looks a little weird. And for that reason, I'll put it on C tier, and that I've kind of spoken that. A tier set, hot take here, Ewok Village. I think that set's awesome. I always wanted an Ewok Village set growing up. So many cool minifigures with that. The trees are just so detailed. It's by nature it is a playset, but it's just a big ass playset, and I think it's really cool. So I think definitely an S tier set, hands down. UCS Slave One. I think everyone can agree with me on that. That this set is absolutely phenomenal. It's on my bucket list of things to eventually buy. Came out back in 2015, 1,996 pieces for $200 US. Right on the money with piece to price ratio, some incredible minifigures. Slave Ones have just gotten so much better over the years, and this one absolutely is the best, and possibly the best we'll ever get in terms of Slave Ones in the LEGO Star Wars line. I'd say it's an S tier set, hands down. Let's look at the original Imperial Stardestroyer. So, this set's friggin' massive. I'd love to get a bootleg of it someday. Can't really happen when the weapon factories were raided, though, and shut down by the cops. So this set was 3,096 pieces. Nothing but great pieces in this, I'm pretty sure. You got a little itty-bitty Rebel Blockade runner. It's not really a playset, but it looks so great on shelves. Every time I've seen this set, it just looks phenomenal. And for that reason, I'm probably going to put it in an A or a B tier. B tier because of the lack of minifigures. It's a high B tier, though. Very high B tier. Alright. Let's look at the Naboo Starfighter. Set 10026, Special Edition Naboo Starfighter. This is under the Ultimate Collector Series line, but it's only 187 pieces for $40. I'm going to put it on D tier, possibly E tier. D tier only because the chrome pieces are so cool. And that's about it. The chrome pieces are so cool. The price is ridiculous, but the chrome pieces just absolutely save it on this. I don't even think there was any minifigures in this. All you got was just the top of an R2-D2 head. But really, the chrome pieces just absolutely save it in this sense. Let's talk about the X-Wing. Way better than the original X-Wing from 2000. Just so much sleeker looking, so much more polished. So it's definitely got to go above that. We're going to put it right there in a B tier, because this is what an Ultimate Collector Series set should be. You get some nice minifigures with it. It's right up there with the Snowspeeder. I think this is just a lot more iconic than the Snowspeeder, so that's why it's a tier above the Snowspeeder, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, guys. They could be wrong. They're probably wrong, and I want you guys to tell me they're wrong down below in the comments. Keep that in mind. So, let's look at the B-Wing. The B-Wing is probably the most forgettable ship from all of these sets. I think that's pretty common, you know. It's the most forgettable set out of all the sets that are on this Ultimate Collector Series list. This was 1,487 pieces and $200 US. It's definitely unique. It's got a lot of cool stuff with it, but for the fact that it's not quite recognizable, I'm putting it right down here at a D tier. Nothing too special going on with it, and I don't see any minifigures with it. So that's why it's definitely down there with D tier. All right, let's talk about these Y-Wings. The Ultimate Collector Series Y-Wing from... The Ultimate Collector Series Y-Wing from 2018. I remember reporting on this. 2 minifigures. Absolutely incredible detail on the Greebling. So we're going to put this right on a C tier. It's about average. It's what an Ultimate Collector Series set should be. It's right on par with the... I'm going to put it on B tier, actually. It's right on par with the X-Wing. Same vein of style and everything. And with that being said, the TIE Fighter... Let's look at the TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter is 1,685 pieces for $200 US, and I think the cockpit looks atrocious with so many weird edges on all those slope pieces. So we're either going to put this on a D or an E tier. You do get a minifigure with it, and it is an iconic ship. We're going to put it at D tier for that, because I do think it's about on par with a lot of these. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. Alright, so we got a few left here. We talked about the other Y-Wing. This Y-Wing is not bad. This Y-Wing came out back in 2004. 1,473 pieces, $120 US. That's a good deal. It's not as detailed as the newer one. The Greebling's just not as nice looking. It's definitely less polished. We're going to put that right there at a C tier. I don't have any huge complaints with it. It's right down the middle for me. Now let's look at the Death Star 2. This was 3,441 pieces, $269 US. I remember seeing this one in catalogs and thinking it was so cool and how I could probably never build it, and I still haven't built it. But so much detail in that, so many great pieces. And I think all that little Greebling coming out of the side of the Death Star is going to put it right on a C tier. C tier. Locking that one in. Let's look at the AT-ST from 2006. This is 1,068 pieces. I think it does the AT-ST a lot of justice. No minifigs, though. I think it's a really nice set. And for that... we'll put it at D tier. Slightly below average. Vader's TIE Advanced. Coming out in 2006 with 1,212 pieces and $100 US. Great piece to price ratio there. No minifigs, but I think it looks incredibly accurate to what it does in the movies. And for that, we're putting it right at a C tier. So, what we got left? We've got the Imperial Shuttle Set 10212 coming out in 2010 with 2,503 pieces and some really nice solid minifigures with this. This set's massive. I bet it was boring as hell to build, but it kind of filled a void for a UCS set that we hadn't gotten before. And for that reason, with the minifigs, I want to say C. It's not quite a B tier because I think it's a little boring. But it's not quite a D tier because I think... I don't want to... We're going to put it right down the middle with C tier. Let's look at the Super Stardestroyer. The set came out in 2011. Brought a ton of new Bounty Hunter minifigures that we hadn't gotten before. I think this... I never thought this set was very cool. In fact, I think it's pretty boring. Just has some decent minifigures. And it's not a vehicle, not a ship I remember from the original saga that much, especially playing all the games. So I think it's probably between this D or E tier here. Put it at E tier. I think it's kind of a boring set. Gonna put it at D tier, actually. Alright. R2-D2. Set 10225. 2,127 pieces for $179 US. This set's awesome. I think that's all I kind of have to say. This set's awesome. I kind of want to put it up in a B or an A tier. It's unique. Kind of goes off the same vein of these Yoda and Darth Maul sets. We're going to go A tier. I like that set a lot. Let's look at Cloud City. I don't want to save the Cloud City for last. So Portrayal Cloud City set 75222. This set was 2,812 pieces for $350 US. I think this set's so awesome, though. That's why I included it. And for that reason, I'm putting it at B tier. People might hate me for this, but I think this set has so many cool qualities to it, and it brought out so much unique stuff that we hadn't seen in a Star Wars set before. And we don't see many Cloud City or Bespin sets, and for that reason, I'm putting it at B tier. People might hate me for that, but what can you do? Alright, so finally we've got set 75059, the Sandcrawler, 3,296 pieces, an absolutely massive set for $300. Great minifigures, great detail, A tier set. Hot take, A tier set. I think it's got a lot going for it. Did a lot of cool things. The Luke minifigure is atrocious in it, but I think the Sandcrawler itself, all the detail, all the interior, all the extra droids that you get, A tier set. So this is what I've got here. We've got Slave 1 at S tier. The A tier looks pretty well distributed. Definitely some hot takes in the A tier. Let me know what you guys think on that. B tier, I think the B tier's fair. Hot take with the Cloud City. C tier is by far the most fair. Maybe the Grievous is a hot take. Let me know what you guys think on that. D tier I think is pretty fair. People may not like that Super Stardestroyer there in the D tier. E tier, I'd say solid. And F tier, I think everyone should agree with that. Fair? Alright, cool. So this was fun. I want to do more of these. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, drop a like down below. This was, like I said, this was a lot of fun. If you guys disagree with any of this, because this is all completely subjective. This is my opinion. And my opinion, I am totally okay with being wrong. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is there anything that you just cannot stand that I placed where I placed it? I tried to save the S tier for absolutely the cream of the crop, and I think the cream of the crop is the UCS Slave 1 here. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like down below and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.